So I'm always so fascinated and intrigued by the power of technology and how we can leverage technology to get ahead. So in today's episode on My Money Adventures with TK podcast, I have a very most, I would dare say, a sought after blogger and content creator on Facebook. So I had the privilege of inviting him to the podcast. So good afternoon and welcome to My Money Adventures podcast with TK.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. How do you feel?
It's hot. It's really
Very hot.
but I'm good.
Sure.
I'm always good.
Sure.
100% good.
Cool. So for people who don't know who you are, who are you?
Okay. Well, Thomello Matsasa. I'm Thomello Matsasa. I'm a 23-year-old self-taught software developer. But right now I'm a freelancer and entrepreneur.
Sure.
I do tech businesses, and well, I sold 3 now. So
At age 23, you sold 3 businesses.
Yeah, 100%. So
Talk about trailblazing. So, okay, fine. So you are self-taught. Maybe let's take it a bit slow and take it a bit back. So you're a self-taught software developer. Talk us through that journey. Where did it start? What inspired you to get into that space?
Oh man. So the journey started, I would say, about 10 years ago. I was 13 at the time. I was part of a program that was done by Mid Institute of Southern Africa, Bisa Lesotho, and I was elected as a child ambassador. So we would take these long trips in and out of the country. So in one of the trips, I met this guy. I don't know if I would call him a friend, but this guy Joseph Lungu in Zambia. In one of the trips to Zambia, I met Joseph Lungu, and he introduced me, but not necessarily introduced me. He just like I was just curious, and
Sure.
he taught me to this thing called coding. He told me he's working on a science project which he hopes to take to the nationals and stuff like that. I was just intrigued and curious on what the hell is he talking about?
Sure.
What's this thing? What do you mean? What you like? We're the same age at the time. We were like 13 at the time, and I'm having this wild conversation with someone who's so passionate, just so out of this world. I was like, I want that. I want that for
Nice.
myself. So when I got back from the trip, I just decided, let me see what I can do for myself. Unfortunately for me, I didn't have any resources. I grew up in a modest family, nothing much to show up for. So I had to. I think the first PC that I used, I fixed for myself. I fixed this old PC for myself, and I just started learning coding. From there, one thing led to another. So the journey began like 10 years ago when I first about this thing called coding.
And you know what they say about a decade and the 10,000 hour rule, blah, 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 you know? So you spoke about that you come from a decent family. What would you say is your relationship with money? What does money mean to you? Or how would you describe your relationship with money?
Weird one.
Weird.
To say
Okay,
the
we've
least.
never had that on the
To say
podcast.
the least. Weird because if you come from humble beginnings, or if you grew up in a household that never had any money, once you start making moves and start making money for yourself, things start becoming weird in some sense, because you there are so many lessons that you have to learn on your own.
Okay.
So many things that you have to understand, so many mistakes that you would do, especially because you've never held any kind of money, that kind of money before. So I would say it's just a weird, like, steep learning curve that I had to go through.
Sure.
Just to get
Very
to
descriptive as well.
yeah, I can see it. I can vividly see
I can
it.
vividly see it too. Yeah.
So it was definitely hard for me to understand some things. I had to learn some things on my own. So be difficult, but I think I'm getting a sense of it now. I'm understanding it now. Yeah.
So what's the first thing you did with that big amount that came into your life financially? If you can still remember.
Yeah, I still remember. I was sleeping. So it was.
She's like, you were sleeping,
Yeah,
and then suddenly, tin, tin.
Yeah, exactly. But here's what happened. And it's something that happens with especially if you earn money internationally. You wait so long just for the transaction to like completely face out. So I think it took about, I don't know, 3 to 4 weeks of back and forth communication with the bank. Has it landed yet? Then go back to the client. Have you transacted? Are you sure you did? Can you give me any proof? And then going back to the bank. Like, it was just constant communication with the bank. By the time it happened, I wasn't even up to it anymore. I was like, okay, it happened. I guess life continues. It wasn't all as exciting as people think it would happen. It just happened. I woke up and saw the notification. I was like, it happened. On to the next one.
So wait. So the money comes in after the back and forth, hits your account, you're sleeping, you wake up, you see the notification. What did you use that money for? That's what I'm curious to find out.
Okay, true story. I only used the money 3 to 5 days later, I think.
Dude,
I took some time, like just processing what. Okay, so what did we say we're gonna do? Okay,
that is dope. Not a lot of people do that.
Yeah. And it also comes from just not having much. Because if you've never had money, you know how to you should know how to be disciplined with money. You should build a very good relationship with money. Don't let money get into your head.
There's also that aspect here. If you have not had money for a very long time and it comes in, there's that urge to
like spend
it quickly. We box, like at the So I'm glad that you had a different experience. So anyone who follows you on social media, I follow you on social media, it's very evident that you're passionate about tech and you're passionate about entrepreneurship. So what would you say sparked that passion? Where does it come from? You mentioned that at age 13, you were already learning how to code, but why are you so intentional about sharing the content that you share on social media?
Okay, so 2 parts to your question. So the first part, where did I build the passion from? Where does this love for the game come from? Well, I would say it just happened. I won't say I'm not those types like the people who wake up and like I was always passionate. I was selling sweets in high school. I never did that. I never did that. So I think it's just that, like, waking up every day and seeing that you can do more. One thing about me is I love challenges. If you come to me and you tell me, man, this thing is so hard. People are talking about doing this thing, but it's so hard. I would go for it. So part of it is just loving the thrill that comes with it, the hardness, the hardship that you have to go through just to make it work and work correctly. Part of it is just the love that I see like in other people, like the inspiration that I get from other people who do it and do it correctly. Like there are some people who do it and you're like, man, these people are doing it. Like, I love what they're doing. I love it. I love how they do it. So especially but like people who are not local, because we do have our entrepreneurs here, but are they doing it the way that other people are doing it? Not exactly. So I think it's just the love that I see in our people. And so the second part of your question was, why do I share? Like, why am I so intentional about sharing the content? I don't know. I guess part of it is just the feeling that, like, have you seen something? I don't know if you have had this experience, like, you you tried to do something for so long, but once you do it, you're like, but it's so easy. Why can't you do it? Like, it's here, like it's in our faces. Why can't we do it? It's so easy. Why can't you just do it? Like we're talking about podcasting now. I mean, it's so easy. Why can't I do it? I don't know why I can't do it. But it's part of it is just, man, it's so easy. Like we can do these things, like these wild moves, these $1 million moves. Like we don't, no age description, nothing. Just do it. Why can't we just do it the way that other people are doing it? So I'm just intentional about helping people like get to some position, like do things and just prosper.
So I'm very curious, and I've always been curious. When you are sharing these resources, these plugs, right? Some of them I read most of your posts, and you really share valuable and credible resources, links to this, links to that, freelancing opportunities. And you also mentioned that you do some of the gigs where you get paid in foreign currency, right? So do you see Basotho youth specifically taking advantage of the knowledge that you're sharing?
It's probably going to be a long shot, a long journey to get to a place where they believe, because that's like the major part of it. I'm really just working hard right now to like make them see that it works, because most of them think it's a scam. Like, does it work? Do you what? So you get the money? How do you get the money?
How do you get the money?
Where do you get the money? So it lands in your account.
Sure.
What do the people? What kind of relationship do you have with the people? Do they know you? No. Okay. Won't my bank account get hacked? What's going on, the dynamics? So part of it right now is just getting them in a position and place where they see that it's possible and it can be done. And I guess a large part of it is just trying to push the curve and make sure that we get there, like all of us. Because one major issue that we have on Nigeria locally in Lesotho, unemployment. Like we have a huge flux of unemployment, and it's been going for years. So I mean, just trying to play a part in that and trying to see if we can like deviate or try to eradicate that.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. And obviously you speak a lot also on tech, like I mentioned earlier on, and freelancing. What are some of the opportunities that your ordinary young person, age 23, who just finished varsity and who's looking for a job can explore? Or rather, what's your take on the gig economy currently?
Okay. To say the least, the economy is huge. There's like huge opportunities that we have especially online. There are like some, like, I don't know, I don't want to say thousands, but hundreds of opportunities and freelancing gigs that one can apply to, especially on platforms. They're repeatable, like Upwork and Fiverr and things like that. So I would say the biggest opportunity, and I should probably make a post on that, is right now is on there are these things called skills. What do they call them? But basically just ordinary skills that in careers, like in every career there's these skills. They call them the single, I forgot what they call them, but basically it's just these small skills, single skills that you just can learn like in a few months and then start earning gigs in them. I was making an example to when having a conversation with someone that you don't have to get a degree, a computer science degree to get a web design gig. You don't need that.
Sure.
You can literally get hired by Google right now or any other let's say huge companies without showing your degree or anything like that, any paper, any certification like that. All they need is just proof that you have, like, you can do the job, you can deliver it the way they say they want it, and you can get that. Oh, so the name is single commodity. I think they call them single commodity skills.
Okay.
So a single commodity skill in a career is just one small part of a career. So let's say career. Let me make an example with accounting right now.
Sure.
for you to get some parts or some gigs in the accounting industry, you don't necessarily have to go and get a
bachelor's of
exactly
accounting.
You just have to learn one skill, one good skill, and just apply it intensively and use that application to like get jobs and stuff like that. So the biggest opportunity, to your point, is that we have right now, that literally anyone can take advantage of, is just those single skill commodities or skills that you can basically just learn yesterday and get a job tomorrow.
So you mentioned Hore, Basotho are usually like, is this a scam? Is it? So how do I even know, somebody who's watching this podcast, how do I know that this is not a scam? What are the key things that I need to check when I'm looking for these opportunities online? Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing is just use reputable platforms when
What's a reputable
platform? Okay,
a
reputable platform is like just making search of the what's the biggest platform that we have, a freelancing platform. Just basically just Google search. Just Google search, or ask people what's the most trusted freelancing platform that I can use to get jobs right now. You get an answer. Like you literally can get an answer like that, or just start asking people or follow me. I
was about to be like, how?
Yes, exactly. So it's just about getting the right platform to use to get to those gigs, because they're there. They're always there. I read a report that Upwork, the platform Upwork, I think they list about more than 2 million jobs a year or something like that. That's more than 100,000 jobs each and every day. Just, you don't need 100,000, you need one, just one, and you get paid in dollars, so it makes a lot of money. Yeah.
So basically, I'm a 23-year-old watching this episode, probably frustrated that I don't have a job, and I'm looking for an income using the skills, the single commodity skill. You know, now I've done the research. Are you basically saying to this person that there are opportunities out there that they can explore? Because the reason I keep asking this question is I am trying to get more Basotho youth to think differently around opportunities that exist. Their world is so big and the opportunities are so big. And the beautiful thing is that as Africans, we are also very young. We're also very skilled. Whether you have a degree, we have skills.
Yeah.
So I want us to encourage them to think differently. And for me, what you are doing with your platform is you are really trailblazing to say that these are the opportunities. So what do you want to say to these young people?
I
know it's a lot of it's very loaded. I'm like,
that's a mouthful.
Yeah, it's a mouthful. Yeah, you know. And how can you help them using the platforms that you have? Let me rephrase the question this way. So you are doing such an amazing job trying to shift the narrative, change the start the conversation. You know, people have been saying, we want to see your face, we want to hear what you have to say. You know, so what do you say to the ordinary African, Mosotho in this context, who's watching this episode and who's watching your journey to say, I don't think it's possible for me. Yeah.
Okay. I would say, well, the first thing is it is possible. It's possible. If it's possible for me, I mean, it can literally be possible for anyone. Like literally, and I mean that. Or I guess the problem that we have now, the problem in hand is people want it and they want it now, and unfortunately you can't get it now. You do have to get some things. There are small nuanced details that you have to get right before you can jump right into this journey. Just because I said there's a platform that you can use to get jobs doesn't mean you have to scrape your way into it and just start doing it.
Sure.
There are some things that you have to make sure that you get in order. Make sure you have a good profile. Make sure you have a good bio, a good profile link. Like just make sure you have everything that you have to make sure like that fixes or that prepares your way into this whole journey. But what I would say to someone, a 23-year-old listening to this, is it is possible to like get in those opportunities, to like jump into those opportunities. Just make sure you have the right information, the right content, or the right preparations for
Sure.
you to make sure that you like prevail in this. Because remember, if Upwork has more than 2 million jobs each and every year, it also means it has more than 500,000 freelancers looking for jobs.
Looking for
so
jobs.
the competition is high, the
Sure.
competition intense, and it
Sure.
means you have to compete. If you have the skills, make sure you like sharpen your skills, work on your skills each and every day. Make sure that you are always on point, and everything is good, because you can't go wrong. If you what one thing I would say, or that I would leave them with, is if you do get everything right, if you do everything that you are supposed to do, you get to a position where you do everything that you want to do. That's one
deep.
thing that's-
I wanted to ask you one more question before I ask you about what the future looks like and how people can connect with you. What's your view on how young people use social media?
Oh man.
And what sparked that is we want it now, the instant gratification aspect, that whole thing. So what's your view on the usage of social media? Should I be mindful of what I'm posting? Should I be mindful of the things that I'm sharing? How do I use my social media, and what does it have? What's the impact it has when I'm applying for these kind of opportunities?
Oh man. Okay, so first of all, people are really not using. Well, they are. Thing about these social media platforms is they are entertainment platforms. They are there to entertain. They are solely there for as entertainment platforms, and they are designed as such. I don't cast judgment at anyone or to anyone who misuses or uses the platform whichever way they see fit, because that's what they were designed to do. It's an entertainment platform. You cannot scream at me for using it the way that I wish or the way that I see fit. That's how I see I see, or that's how I think it should be. But one thing I would say to people is, I would encourage them to use them. Like, social media is one of the most powerful tools we have right now that we never had at any stage or at any level of life, or in any generation. It used to be that back in the day, when people had anything important to say, you would find for a few people that you have, and just shout at them, or gather people around, and or your friends. You could lie to your friends. You could maybe say a few lies to your to neighbors and stuff like that. But right now you can say something, and immediately or instantly 5,000 people can see that. So it's a really powerful tool, but you just have to learn how to use it effectively. To your point about its effect on getting opportunities and stuff like that, it does have an impact, like a huge impact, because the first thing that people do normally, if you're gonna work with someone, the first thing that they do is they want to make a profile check. Who are you? Should I trust you? What do you do? What did you say you do? Where can I get you? Can I see anything that you do? Have you talked about, do you have any sort of authority in this subject? I want to trust you. It's money. We are talking about money. Yeah. So if anything, any conversation that involves money has to be adhered with care and stuff like that. So there are certainly ways that people can like leverage using social media. Like the third acquisition that I did, I used Twitter. I got the buyer from Twitter. I just started talking about the platform, the app that I did, and someone was like, "Are you open to selling it? I'm interested." I was like, I don't care. Yeah.
Can't wait for the day I sell something at that level.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. Where do people connect with you, and what does the new year look like for you?
So they can get me on Facebook, Thomello Matsasa. My Facebook is Thomello. That's like the primary platform that I use. I used to use LinkedIn, but I don't anymore. The people that I want to deliver the message to, they're normally just hanging on Facebook and trolling around, and so that's where they can like initially get me. I'm there on other social platforms. I have an X account, Twitter account. I use it for my business purposes, and I intend to do it like that. So just Facebook, and the new year. It's exciting. It's exciting.
I just saw the excitement.
Yeah,
literally.
It's really exciting. I'm working on really huge projects, not just for myself, but I normally try to engage as many people as I can in the things that I do. So it's definitely exciting, new things and new exciting opportunities I have for people. So I basically just build everything in public. So if they want updates, they can get them on my social media. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for making time to come through to my Money Adventures with podcast. Yeah, now I'm tripping all over my words. If you've been listening to this podcast, it's available on Apple, Spotify, and of course Google Podcasts and any other podcasting platform. Please do leave a comment and let us know what you think about this amazing trailblazer who's doing amazing work within the tech and freelancing space, and how he's working to create opportunities for the ordinary Basotho and Africans at large to make money online in a very safe and responsible manner. Of course, I also want to know from you what your journey looks like and how you are creating opportunities for yourself, or what kind of opportunities you'd like to create. So if you do have any questions for him, feel free to drop them in the comment section below, and him and I will address them to the best of our ability. And of course, do follow our podcast, not podcast, blog, mymoneyadventures.com, which also is loaded with amazing personal finance content free of charge every Monday. And of course, we also have a newsletter. So sign up for a newsletter so that you are part of the Trailblazer community. I don't know if you've seen something. I'm only talking to people between the ages of 21 and 30. So this is me shining the spotlight on young African trailblazers who are doing the most. And you don't have to be 35. Well, I will have something for the 35-year-olds, but right now my focus is on these young cats who are doing amazing work. So until the next video, give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment below like I mentioned, or a question or a suggestion for the next guest. And of course, remember to share it with your family and friends who can benefit from this community. This is a Trailblazer community, and as is tradition, love, peace, and money. See you in the next video, guys. Cheers.